I'm going to make sure my mom can watch. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So my iPad was giving me a hard time, so I'm actually on my phone. A little closer. Sorry for the noise. My mom is watching from upstairs, so hi, Steph. So if I do have any internet issues, because I was when I first turned it on, if it gets annoying, just turn it off and come back in about 45 minutes, an hour, and you can watch it nonstop, because sometimes it does cut out, come back in. So it was a Labor Day tradition for Lori and I and Laughing Elephant to do a free class. And so it seemed like a good day to try to practice getting my teaching voice back, because I haven't been teaching very much, as a lot of you know. I've got a lot of stuff going on in my body, unfortunately, like, pardon me, really bad arthritis in my thumb, shoulders, knees. You know, you hit 50, shit hits the fan. But so I'm gonna do some modifications, but feel free to do anything you feel like doing. And you know, my intention is just to make you move and have some fun. If you like my shirt, this is a photo from my friend Rick Catalozzi. He has a really cool photography business, and we actually have 4 of his photos in our house, but this is a t-shirt he made. So talking too fast. Sorry, Mom, I'm talking too fast. I'm gonna move my hula hoops, because you know, gotta have hula hoops in your yoga room. And I'm going to start seated, but feel free, if you prefer, to start in a different way, to start in a way that feels good in your body. I'm sitting in a modified hero's pose, but I'll tell you about halfway if you want to change your leg position at all. So just take a couple moments just to breathe. Honestly, I think that's the thing I forget about the most lately, and I know Mom and I have to remember on a regular basis to breathe. So just taking a moment to pause. Your eyes can be closed if you like. And then just as it feels okay for you, start to let your chin just drop in towards your chest. And then you can just start to roll one ear to shoulder, one ear to the other shoulder. And I know for me right now, I'm finding a lot of tension in my neck and my shoulders, my upper body overall. So just feel if you need to do something different or pause in a different way than I am. You know, I say this when I'm teaching in person, I say this when I'm teaching this way. This is your time, your practice. Just do whatever you feel is going to help you. And then just let yourself drop your ear towards your left shoulder, and you can extend out through your right hand. Giving it a breath or so here. And then as it feels ready, you might tilt your chin down towards the ground, or then maybe even look up a little bit. Just kind of notice if you hit a spot that might feel particularly good, and if that's the case, you might stay there. And then from here, you can let your left hand come right down towards the ground, and I'm choosing a block just to kind of hold back a little bit, and let the right arm come out about over. So I'm not gonna lie, I've always been a very kind of naturally flexible person, but I've not been doing yoga the amount I used to. I used to teach like 12 to 15 classes a week, then do classes on top of that, and now I've been doing more like 1 or 2 classes a week and not teaching. So I'm just noticing I have to be a little bit more cautious in my movement, and just in case your practice has changed over the last year, you know, be nice to yourself, because it may not feel anywhere like it did before. Thank you guys. And then easy, you can inhale, come on up. And even that, I have to go slow because I can feel the little spasm that comes in. And then let your chin drop in towards your chest. This is why I'm trying to get back on my mat. Let your right ear come towards your right shoulder. Trying to take better care of myself so I can take better care of Mom and Dave. And myself. Let your ear drop towards the left shoulder. And then this time as your ear drops in towards the right shoulder, pause there for a moment. Again, this might be where you hover your left hand and kind of let yourself play a little bit with kind of feeling where you get the best sensation for you. And then keeping the right hand down, you can let the left arm just sweep up and over and just really lengthen out through your side body. And if you want to turn your gaze, shift the way you're holding your head at all, go right ahead. And then eventually you can let the left hand come down. You might use your hand to help you come back up, whatever feels good. And then if you want, we cross the legs the other way if you do have one leg crossed in front, just so your hips feel balanced. And then just interlace your fingers and turn the palms towards me. And then just let yourself think like cat's breath. And if this doesn't feel supported enough, let your hands come to your lap because you might need more support in your back. And then keep the hands interlaced. Just let your arms sweep over. Palms are facing towards your head. And then act like you're trying to pull the arms apart. That's going to give you a little bit of a rich wrist stretch. And I can feel it broadening in my shoulder blades too. And then unwind your hands. And if you can't reach the floor comfortably, you can always shift forward a little more, letting your palms come down towards the mat. Don't try to force them flat to the floor, especially if your forearms are really tight. And you could do this from hands and knees if you'd rather. And then as you let your hands come back, a little Elizabeth trick, just interlace your fingers and do some wrist circles. Just letting yourself have a chance to kind of unwind. And then when you feel ready, just let yourself take a gentle twist to one side. It honestly doesn't matter which one first because we're going to do both. And then just come on through the center and come around to the other side. I'm sorry, I had a playlist, but when our phone was starting to give me a hard time, I panicked and I just started class, so sorry it's not there. And then let yourself come back through the center and then just unwind towards hands and knees, but if you want to take a minute just to kind of let yourself press one leg long behind you and then the other, just to stretch out behind the knees, or you know, if you kind of lost any circulation to your feet. I know sometimes my feet fall asleep when I'm sitting like that. And then my hands are on blocks to accommodate my thumbs, but you can totally have your hands on the ground. But if you do find your wrists bother you, this might help some. And then come on into cat's breath. Just hollow out your belly, round the back to the sky. And then drop the belly, lift the heart, and lift the tail. Oh, it feels good. And then curl it in, letting yourself feel the broadening of your back body. And then drop the belly, lift the heart, and lift the tail. And then pause in a neutral position. We're going to thread the needle, press into your right hand, let the left arm come up to the sky. And then just let the left arm shoot underneath the right, and your head and shoulder can come down. Now, I've been enjoying what it feels like to extend the leg out to the side, but you don't have to. And then the top arm, you might wrap it behind your back or press into the ground. Just kind of find where you get the stretch that feels the most juicy. Give it another breath. Now just slide your right hand back underneath you, keeping the right leg extended out to the side unless for any reason it's really not appropriate for you. Floating the left arm, this is going to take a little bit of strength. And then if you want, float the right leg. Give it another breath. Now we're going to actually bring the back leg forward, so you can help it with your hands if you want. Swing the right leg up, kind of like you're in that half split position. I have no idea if my feet are dirty, so I do very much apologize if you're looking at a particularly dirty foot at the moment. I'm mostly barefoot in the summer, so. And if this is a lot in your hamstrings, you might come up a little higher. You can have a little wiggle. It is intended to start to wake up the hamstring, but if you're super tight or you're just getting up or just getting moving, you know, be nice to yourself. And then I'm going to bend into the right knee. Now, I've been tending to stay higher in the lunge because I actually need the hip flexor stretch much more than the hip stretch overall. So feel free. You could totally let your upper body go lower, more like a lizard, but for the moment, I'm staying a bit higher. And you can pull back, lengthening your right leg, and then sinking back in. You could add arms. For the moment, I'm going to keep my hands down, but eventually I'll bring the arms up too. But I want to feel a little more supported at the moment. And then the next time I bend into the right knee, I'm going to pause there for a second. Keep the left hand down. Right hand to the thigh or reach behind you, whatever way it feels good for you to bring in a bit of a twist. And then bringing the hands down. Again, just so you feel enough that you're supported. Pick up the right leg. bring it back. And if you are on blocks, I would make them a little less high and just reach the right leg back. Left hand forward and just kind of at first just stretch. And then if you want to, reach back for the right foot just to get a bit of a quadricep stretch. If it's a lot to reach for the foot, maybe press into your left hand or let your hand come to the heart. And then your call, bring your hands down, either stay in hands and knees or curl the left toes under. And take a moment to hit down dog. And the down dog's more just to kind of feel good, get a little more space away from the ground. So just see what you need. And then just lower both feet down to the mat. We'll do the other side in a second, but for the moment, just walk your hands back towards your feet. And just give yourself a little forward fold, a little chance to unwind the hamstrings, letting your head kind of shake out. You can drop your head. Mine's more lifted so you can hear me. And then slowly bend the knees, ease your way up, hands to the legs will be the most supported. Draw yourself up tall. Inhale, reach up high, and then just take a little side stretch to one side. And then come on up through the center, reach up and over to the other. You can do whatever one feels better first, just getting a chance to open it up. And then perhaps a gentle back bend. I would bring the hands to low back, but that's up to you and where you feel supported. And not really big, just enough you're kind of like, there was like something pulling from your sternum up to the ceiling. You can keep your chin tucked a little bit if it feels good. And then kind of think of the fact of deliberately using your belly to help you pull up, and then just gently forward fold. And then just start to walk your hands out. You can bring your hands down to the blocks or the ground. Lower down your shins. Take a couple rounds of cat and cow. And you can inhale and exhale when it feels comfortable for you. I kind of vary it up depending if I want to feel it in my belly or not. And then when you find neutral, left hand will come down, right arm will open up to the sky. And then let the right arm come underneath the left. And let your head and shoulder come down. And you can either stay or extend your left leg. Again, the left arm, it can reach, it can wrap, it can go forward. You can sometimes do something different on this side than the first side. Just don't be afraid to experiment a little bit. And then when you're ready to, bring your left hand back down, press down, open the right arm out to the side. And then if you want that little extra fire, pick up the left leg. That's a little extra IT band work, so if it's too much, don't do it. And then bring the right hand down. You can use your hand to help the leg or try to use your core and bring the leg up so you're in a half split. And you might just take a moment with the legs straight. Again, I apologize for dirty feet. And have a little wiggle from side to side if you feel like you want to move. And then eventually take a pause to bend in towards the left knee. And then just drawing yourself back. So just moving in and out of it a little bit to kind of wake things up. And this is where I'm talking about that normally needing a year and a half ago, you know, I could do this kind of movement without thinking about it. And I can tell you right now, that is not the case. I am very aware of every movement I make. So just listen to your own body. It's really important to do that. And then bend into your left knee. Now, some of you might choose to go low. I want to go a little higher because I need this opening here. I do a lot of bent over movement these days, so I need to kind of open it up and stretch that. And you can pulse in and out, let yourself kind of feel good in it. Eventually adding the twist, and for the moment I'm staying a little bit more upright, but you can sink into it. You know, my friend Gina, who I've been taking beach yoga from all summer, says, you know, the person guiding your yoga practice is one voice, but your body should be the first voice. So listen to your body. And then as you come back and around, we're going to pick up the left leg. Just kind of swing it back. You can lower the blocks if they are up kind of high, and then reach the right arm forward. So just a moment of a full length stretch. And then reaching back for the left foot, you can press the left foot to the sky if that feels good to get the quadricep stretch. And then you can stay in hands and knees or shift to down dog. So curl the right toes under, press yourself up and back. It might feel good to stretch it wide, bend the knee, look under one shoulder and then the other. Just trying to be aware that you're not collapsing in the shoulders. And then let both feet come down to the mat. Either hands to feet or feet to hands. We're just coming back to the forward fold again. Bend your knees as much as you need to so you can hang yourself in. And you might give a little shake of your head. And then perhaps keep the left hand down, bend the left knee a decent amount. Roll the right side of your chest open. And then roll down. Right knee can soften a bit. Left hand to hip or up to the sky. Oh, my body is tight. And then come back into the center. And then maybe hook your toes, Padangusthasana, or you can just let your hands reach towards the ground, but bend your knees as much as you need to. Give a little push down with your feet, little pull up with your arms. You'll feel a different sensation through your scapulas, through your shoulder blades, through your rhomboids, through your back. And then sink in. And my knees are bent a little bit. If you can't see it, they are. And then just easy, release your feet. Either rolling or long spine, start to come all the way up to standing. You can take a breath, sweep the arms up high to the sky. And then again, just a little side stretch one direction. And then side stretch to the other side. And then just come back into the center and just let the hands come into a place that feels comforting to you. So we're going to come into some movement. I'm planning on it being relatively straightforward, but I'm not going to lie. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I just do, and then it happens. So, and that's the way I've always taught it. So just know that if you decide you're like, you know what, I need something more than what Debbie's doing, or what is happening, did she lose her mind suddenly, just do what feels right for you. So take a moment, eyes can be closed or open. Feel your feet touching into your mat, into the earth, into the ground. And then when you're ready, take an inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. On the exhale, forward fold. Soften your knees as you need to. You might take a little bit of a halfway lift, but then just step your right leg to a lunge. Knee can be high or low. Draw the arms up to the sky. And then just exhale, press your arms back. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, press back. One more time. Inhale, arms to the sky. You might lift the chest at first, but then let your body shoot forward. And if this feels like it's a lot on your back, hands either to the top of your quad or bring them to your low back. We're going to have the option to shift into Warrior 3, and it's just an option. So if you want a little extra juice in this left leg, shift forward, floating the right leg behind you. I tend to bring one of my hands to the hip just so I can feel that I'm pretty even, but it's not a big deal if you're not, so let your arms do what they want to. And then here, just bring the right toes down, let your hands land for a moment, and then just lengthen your left leg to whatever degree feels good. You can make your blocks higher if you want to. Give a little shift from side to side or any movement that you feel will be helpful to you. And then soften in towards the left knee. We're just going to take a moment in standing split. So press into the left foot. Take the right leg to the sky. And it's not so much about how high the right leg is. It's more that you're folding over your left leg. So if you're trying to figure out the difference between Warrior 3 and standing split, it's more of the forward fold. So now, right foot's back down, down dog, take the left leg up to the sky. Then here, just pull the left knee up and into your belly, lower the left leg down to the ground, open up the right arm, the inside of the right foot to the mat, just coming into a modified side plank. You could do Vashisthasana, you could do side plank if you want. Reaching the right arm up and over. And then just let your hands come down, let both knees come down to the mat. If you have the blocks, you might want to slide them off to the side for a second. Walk your arms forward, puppy pose or child's pose, whatever you're more in the mood for. And then use your belly to roll all the way down to your stomach. You're going to do a shoulder stretch from here. So let your right arm come out to the side, flip your palm up, press into your left hand and lift your left foot. And then just roll yourself open so you can kind of get a little bit of a stretch there. Take a breath or two. And then come back to your belly. Slide the right hand in, left hand out, palm to the sky, and then rolling your right toes behind you. And the more you keep your belly towards the mat, the less extreme. So if this is too much, just let yourself unwind with it. Then come back down to your belly. Slide both the hands under your shoulders. Just press up and back, downward facing dog. Take an inhale and bring the right leg up to the sky. Step the right foot forward, just coming towards lunge. Arms can sweep up to the sky. And then let your arms press back. And you can either just move the arms or move your upper body with you. Biggest difference is the more you lean forward, the softer it gets on your left thigh, and the more you lift up, the deeper it gets. Now this time, kind of sink in. Again, hands can be where you feel steady, just a Warrior 3 pause. If you don't want to do it, just stay. You might step the left toes in a little bit and then float the left leg. Again, I like the hands to the hips just so I can kind of see where I am in space. And then let the left toes land. You might take a breath to sweep the arms up. And then when you're ready, you can exhale, let the hands come down. Blocks or not, lengthen your right leg. And don't hesitate to give yourself as much space as you need. You know, sometimes hamstrings are very, naturally movable, malleable, but, just give yourself that room. Take another breath. Now from here, again, you can stay right where you are. It's the same concept, or standing split. So you shift your weight forward a little bit, let the left leg go to the sky. And it doesn't matter how high it is, it's that you're folding over the right leg that gives you the space. And then here, step the left toes back. Make sure your blocks are at a position that feels safe. And then you can open the right leg up to the sky. And down dog. Pull the right knee into your belly. Lower the right shin down. Inside of your left foot down. Inside of the left arm to the sky. So this modified side plank. And then just exhale, let both hands come on down. Instead of going back to puppy, pull the left knee into your belly. Right knee into your belly. Use your hand if you need to step it forward. And then step the left foot forward. So you're just standing at the top of the mat. And then come all the way up to stand. Get a reach up and over to one side. And then the other. And any arms, any legs, don't be afraid to do your own thing. Come back to the center. And then here, this time we're going to step back left. It's going to change up a little bit too. So inhale, draw the arms high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and then exhale, left foot coming back to a lunge. Now, you can either stay in the lunge. I'm preferring the lunge to open the front of my left quad, or you could shift to warrior one if that gives you better balance, or put the knee right on the ground. Take an inhale, draw the arms up. And this time we're going to twist. So let your left hand come down, block floor or thigh, and then open the right arm up. Biggest difference is if your heel is down here in warrior one, you might feel a little bit more across your sacrum. So being up on the ball of the foot or on the shin gives you some more room. Now we're going to have a directional change. Let your right hand come down, turn to the left. Just take a little skandasana. Make sure your toes are moving with your knees. A little side to side. And then here, just come back over your right leg. Come to the center, lower your left shin down. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. And then either twisting, staying high, or if you want to start to work your elbow a little bit deeper, and then again, your call, back knee high or low. So essentially, you're just doing a second twist. It just may or may not be a different version of. Give it a breath. Then when you're ready to exhale, let your hands come down. Left shin high or low. I'm going to lower mine for the moment. And then pull back and lengthen your right leg. Now here, bend in towards your right knee. Curl the back toes under and lift up the left knee. Now if you want to, you might step the left foot in a little bit so you can lengthen the right leg. I'm feeling the urge to pull the ball of the foot up off the mat to deeper stretch my calf, but that's up to you. So we're going to go into warrior three first. So soften a little bit into the right knee. Walk your hands a bit forward. And then pick up the left leg. Now just try to start to lift the heart. Now if you have back issues, I would hold on to the leg. But if your belly is feeling like it's active and strong, pull the left knee in. Again, if you're concerned about it, hold on to the leg. Hands can come to the heart. Pull the left knee up. Extend the left leg out in front of you, even if it's just for a second, and you can hold it. Now when you swing it back, warrior three. And just meaning that you're folding over the right leg more, the left leg is a little higher. Now put the left leg to the back of the mat, so you're back in a lunge. Knee can go down if you want to, but down dog. Take the right leg up to the sky. This is when you might want to bend the knee, open the hip. You might want to flip. I'm being cautious on flipping right now because my shoulders have been cranky. And then come back and around, pull the right knee into your belly. Shift forward and lower the right shin down. Right hand can stay down, left arm to the sky. Now, yogi's choice. Floating the left leg, maybe reaching back for the left ankle. And you could be up on your forearm right now. That's what I've been doing a lot this summer. Or you could be on the shin. It's just a matter of if you're trying to protect your wrists and shoulders, which would be going on the forearm, or if you're trying to support yourself more, which would be the knee down. Then you can extend left leg behind you, left hand comes down, take a down dog pause. Again, you might float it up to the sky. Then just pull forward, right shin can land, left shin can land. Slide your arms forward for puppy or child's pose. So it just means butt high or low. Let your head sink in. And then just roll forward, come on out to your belly. Take your left arm out to the side, but this time bend the elbow a little bit. And just be mindful, this is going to be a much more sensation opening. That didn't make sense. It's going to have a lot more sensation, but just to be careful. So bend the right knee and then roll open. And because your arm is bent, it kind of restricts the range of motion in your shoulder and it goes more into your pec. Try to relax your head, although it might be hard to do. And then come back to the center, right arm out. And again, let yourself have a little bend in the elbow, letting yourself press into the left hand. Roll the left toes behind you. And again, just be mindful. Don't try to force and think it's supposed to look a certain way. And then come back to your belly. Slide your hands or forearms underneath you, and then just pull the chest forward. So just coming into cobra. And I'm staying low, but you can go higher if you want. Now I confess, I have not been doing chaturanga this summer, so you're welcome to do a reverse push-up to get up and back. I'm going to do more of a kind of modified sliding back, but lowering down, slide the hands under the shoulders, and just up and back. Downward facing dog. And you might just take a second, let your head hang, do a little shake. And then your left leg can lift up to the sky. And then pull the left foot through, coming into the lunge. Now this is the lunge where you might decide to be in warrior one, meaning the back heel is down, or you can be shin down or on the ball of the foot. I'm going to take a more open twist at first. So right hand's coming down. Left hand can come to your thigh or up to the sky. Again, if you have your heel down, this is where you might feel a little more restricted in the low back, in the sacrum. So lifting up your heel will help. Now let the left arm come down, pivot to the long edge of your mat. Just give a little skandasana side lunge, side to side. Try to be mindful that your toes are turning with the same direction as your knees. And then you're going to come back over the left leg. I'm lowering the shin down for the moment, but that's your call. Right arm's up to the sky. Here's where you might take the twist a little deeper. So right elbow might come to the outside of your leg. Your hands can press. I'm curling the back toes under to get a little bit more juice, but that's totally up to you. Try to soften your gaze, soften your breath. And then when you're ready to unwind it, come on down. I'm going to lower the shin for the moment, but you could keep it lifted. It's up to you. Pull back and lengthen your left leg. And then bend back in. Now, pull back. Now, your call. You can stay here with the knee down. You can skip the warrior three, standing split, the whole business. Or let yourself find whatever level of picking up the right knee. Left leg can be flexed, pulling the ball of the foot up off the mat to stretch your calf, or you can push it down. Now, when you're ready to shift to warrior three, though, give a bit of a bend in the left knee. Walk your hands forward a bit, and then float the right leg to the sky. Now, to make it warrior three, you're going to start to even off your shoulders, your hips, and your heel. Pull the right knee into your belly. If you have any fear of your back, hold on, or hands to heart, and pull up. Ooh, balance. And then extend. And then swing it through and standing split. And it just means you're folding over the left leg a little more. Then bend your left knee enough. Your right toes can touch. You can flatten out your blocks or do whatever you need to do to feel like you're stable. And then down dog. Left leg can come up. Here's where you might want to flip your dog. And then just pull forward, left knee into your belly. Lower the left shin on the ground and then open up into side plank or modified side plank. You can float the right leg. You can bend the right knee, reach back for the foot with your hands. And just to open up the quad, side body, whatever feels delicious. And then ease it down, right arm high. Let your hands come on down, pull the left knee into your belly, reach it up and back to down dog. But then this time, just pull the left foot forward, stepping up, and then right foot. And then here, we're going to take Malasana. I'm going to take a little squat. You can totally sit on a block. letting yourself bring the hands to your heart. Maybe it's the back of the hands if you want to stretch the wrist. Let the right arm come down, left arm to the sky. And your butt can totally be on the floor right now too. Let the left arm come behind you. Now there's binds. There's binds under the right leg, in front of the right shin. I know my shoulder's not there right now, so I'm going to take my right hand to heart and just open it up. And you might let your right ear drop into the right shoulder. It feels kind of nice on your neck. Soften your jaw. And then just come back to the center. Let your hands maybe pause. And then when you're ready, left hand down, right hand to low back, hand to heart. Gaze can be high or low. Just trying to give yourself some space to breathe, quiet the mind. And then coming back to the center, hands might come to the heart. Now, if you want to give yourself a little more support, I would just put your hands down, forward fold, and stand up. If you want to make it a little bit more fiery, press into your feet and just draw yourself all the way up to stand. Exhale, let the hands come into the heart. And then here, if your block is in the way, you might want to shift it just so you don't kick it by mistake. I'm just turning sideways so you can see. You don't have to turn sideways. Taking one hand to low back and one hand to your belly, just more so you can kind of see where your tailbone is at. Pull up the right heel and then push it back. So we're purposely not holding on to it because I want you to try to strengthen your hamstring, but I want you to feel that you're keeping the tailbone long. Just meaning that you're not opening it out to the side. So we're trying to actually strengthen the glute, strengthen the hamstring. Now you can move your hands and you might even soften your standing leg a little. Some of you might prefer to move the arms out wide or forward or even touch the wall to get some support. And then just see if you can squeeze the heel up a little more. If you're getting a Charlie horse, give yourself a chance to come out of it because it will not relax until you let go of it. Now pull the same knee into your belly, cross it over your left thigh, and then sink in. And here, like I have the wall here so I can take advantage of it. It might feel good to kind of sit back. This is more of a stretch. You could bring your hands to the mat or to your heart if you wanted to. And then when you're ready to, you can come on up, pull the knee in, and then just lower it down. And then it's up to you. You might need a little hip wiggle and kind of just give it a little shake, 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 whatever you need. And then once again, sausage. Find your balance and then pull the left heel up. I'm doing this with the hands just so that way I can kind of feel that I'm not thrusting my pelvis back or my sits bones back and my hips forward. I want to feel that nice long spine and trying to get a good contraction through the hamstring. And you might even pulse the left foot a little bit. You can move it around or push it back a bit deeper. Bending the right knee can help. Give it a couple of breaths and try to smile. And then when you're ready, pull the knee into your belly, wrap it over your right thigh. You can sink back again using the wall if it's available. Hands can come down towards the ground, whatever you need. Take another breath. Then you can inhale, come on up, and then lower both feet to the mat. Again, a little hip wiggle if you feel like you'd like to. And then getting back into the flow. So inhale, draw the arms up. Take a little sideways bend again. A little sideways bend again. Now this time, if you want the back bend to be deeper, I would separate your feet a little bit. It's just going to feel more stable. Hands to low back, however you wish. Lift the heart, stretch the belly. And then just exhale, let yourself forward fold. Hands can come down to the blocks. Take an inhale, pick up the right foot, reach it back. This time into warrior one, but just for a breath. Then open right out to warrior two, but then shift up and over so you're over the right leg, your back leg, and warrior two. Reverse the warrior, so climb up and back. Keep a little tiny bend in your left knee. Come on up and over, side ankle. Inhale, reverse, and I just kind of caught my foot in the mirror and I noticed I was angled in, so I just straightened it out. And then come on up and over. Now let the left arm come down, turn your right toes in. Just take a little bend side to side, just trying to create some room. And then we're going to pause in the middle in the straddle, and then you choose. Either just simply let your head hang to the ground. You can walk your arms through your legs, but I actually want the chest and shoulders open, so I'm reaching the arms forward and coming into more of like a down dog with wide feet. Give it another breath here. Now start to come up about halfway. Look at your left toes, that's the front of the mat. Start to turn your left toes forward. Now we're gonna come right into half moon to kind of juice up this left leg. If that's too much, come to warrior two and then half moon. So just start to sweep the left hand forward, draw yourself up, and then your call. You can float the, going down. You can float the right arm. My preference for the quadricep opening is to reach back for the right foot. You can pull the bow open. If you want to float the left hand, you want to get fancy, do whatever you're in the mood for. And then from here, just let the right leg release. Ease it back, coming into warrior two. Saved it. And then circle the arms down to the mat, lower down the right shin, and then lengthen your left leg. Now the next thing is not pleasant, I'm not gonna lie. Bend in towards your left knee. Make sure you're not right on your right kneecap by either pushing your toes back a little or just simply put something underneath your right knee. And then bend your right knee and see if you can catch it with your left hand. Now you can reach back with both hands or right hand, but what I'm trying to have you do is get the deeper quad stretch. So if you reach back with this hand, you'll have a tendency to open up the chest. A little twist might actually be nice. And then you choose, you can sink into it, pushing the foot into your hand, pull the heel into your bum, whatever gives you the best sensation. And don't think of best as always being the most, because sometimes you need something a little more chill. Now, let the right foot come down, pull back, lengthen your left leg. Now, a couple options just depending on what you're feeling. You can stay in the left knee bent in lizard, or even come into half pigeon with the left leg forward. I'm going for cow face. So if you want a little bit more different intensity, not even more, wiggle your left foot to the right edge of your mat, and then either slide your left leg back or your right knee forward. And go careful. I know I have to be really careful about it too. And try to stack your knees. Now you can sit on a block here, and then if you want to add the arms, you can take the left arm up, drop it behind your back, right arm out to the side, flip the palm, and then let your fingers come to lightly touch. And if they don't touch, you can just hold on to your clothing. And I know there's always, I feel like there's debate of which arm should be on top with which leg is on top. I've heard both. Just make sure you do both. Like one time, one the other time. It's not going to make a huge difference other than you might feel more balanced. Try to shift forward. And again, if all of this is just like way too much to deal with, left leg lizard, left leg half pigeon. Just know that you're getting a little deeper into your hip. Now inhale, start to come on up. Unwind your arms. Now if your left leg is forward and half pigeon, your brain's going to have to think for a second, because we're going to swing the left leg up to the sky in down dog. So just whatever you need to do, let your hands come down, unwind the left leg, put the left leg on the ground, and then you can take the right leg up to the sky, bend the knee, open the hip. For the sake of balance, put the right foot down, take the left leg up, bend the knee, open the hip. And then just lower both feet down. Inhale, slide forward to plank. Again, I'm not chaturanging, is that a word? I don't know. But you can. Puppy pose. And then ease your way down to your belly. Bend the knees, float the feet, reach your fingers back. Now, at this particular moment, don't reach and hold your feet. See if you can pick your legs up, maybe. And if it bothers your low back, keep your thighs on the ground. And then if you want, try to lift your heart up. And all this is going to strengthen your low back and strengthen your glutes. You can keep your head a little more neutral. I'm tending to pull up so you can hear me. Give it a breath here. And then lower down. You might have a little wiggle. Second round, if you want to reach for the feet, go right ahead. I'm going more for the strength right now than the flexibility. So bending the knees, reaching the hands back, holding if you want. If you want a different sensation, arms out to the side. And then lift up. Think like a skydiver. Give it a breath here. And then easy. Come on down. Hands under. And then however you want to get there, down dog. Take a moment, reach the right leg up to the sky. Step the right foot forward just for a second in warrior one. Then open to warrior two. Then shift up and over your left foot, take warrior two on the left. Then left arm down, right arm up and over. And then inhale up, reverse, here, just exhale, let the hands circle around. You can turn your left toes in, even off your feet, so you're in that Prasarita shape. And then forward fold. Now, I know right now, this type of opening is excruciating for me, so it's not going to look very exciting. But if you can hook your hands and draw your arms up overhead, feel free. This is about my limit. Holding a strap would actually make it much more comfortable. Give it another breath. A little shake of the head, perhaps. And then when you feel ready, you can let your hands come on down. Now, again, this is where we're going to do a little bit of a bigger pickup into half moon. So you can come to warrior two first and then half moon, but look over the right toes forward. Shift the weight, start to float the left leg, perhaps the left arm. And you might bend the left knee, reach back for the ankle, pulling the bow, kind of noticing where your gaze, your drishti is, how that might affect your ability to balance. And then as calm as you can, let your left foot come on back. It might just be a moment in warrior two. And then exhale your hands down to the mat, lower down the right shin for a moment. Just pull back, lengthen the right leg, just to get the weight out of your hip for a sec. And then sink back in. Now, you might scoot your left toes back, just so you're not right on top of your kneecap. And then reaching back for your left foot with your right hand. The higher your upper body is here, or I should say head, hips, knee are in line with each other, the deeper the stretch. So you could sink forward, pull the foot towards you more, that's going to change it. Push the foot away, that's going to open up the twist different. So again, you can experiment because you can get very different experience from a very similar pose. Give it another breath where you are. I'm not happy. And then let your left toes come down. Again, you might lengthen the right leg again. And then yogi's choice. You might stay in lizard, you might shift into half pigeon, or Gomukhasana. And this time, instead of pulling the left leg forward, you can also slide the right leg back, but try to shift your feet out to the side. Go nice and slow, especially if you've ever had a knee injury, and you might want to sit on a block. And then the right arm can come on up, left arm out to the side, and then just letting yourself sink in. Giving it a couple of breaths. If you feel like your arm is too heavy on your head, you can always shift it out from behind you. My bracelet's caught in my hair. Like 2 or 3 more breaths. And then when you feel ready, you can come on up, unwind your arms. Now, the right leg's going to go back first, so you can unwind it. Let the right toes come down into the mat. I'm just shifting so I'm not off my mat. And then hands down, left leg up to the sky, down dog. I didn't say it last time, but this is a good place to flip if you want to flip. Then let your left leg come down and just start to walk your feet up towards your hands. And just give yourself a moment. Hang in, take a pause, a little shake out. And then inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart. So one last standing wave. It'll be shorter, just in case if that makes a difference for you. Blocks might be helpful. So we're going to have an option to go from Natrajasana, from dancer, into a forward fold standing split with the legs still going up to the sky. So it's a big hamstring and quad opening. Remember, you can keep it as cash as you want. So ground into your right foot. Right hand, I usually go to heart, but you can go where you're comfortable. Bending the left knee. Now it's thumb out. It's kind of like, hey, to get it. Thanks, Leela. And letting yourself kind of reach back. But if that's a lot on your shoulder, you can totally do palm down. It's just a different opening for your shoulder. But reaching back, try to keep the hips nice and even. Push back with the left foot, press forward with the right arm. Now, I'm not particularly bendy in my back bends these days, so some of you might actually be able to open up, grab the foot, do that funky stuff. Or you can start to shift forward, soften your right knee a bit, and then when you get down there, try to press the foot to the sky. And what's amazing is the reason you have so much more room here is that you don't have to have your right quadricep quite as open. Give it a breath. Now, you can let your hand come down, pull the left knee into your belly. You can either start to pick all the way up and cross your left ankle over your thigh, or you could do it while you were still in the forward fold and sink in. There's an arm balance here, and I confess I'm not very arm balancy these days, but feel free if you want to hook the foot and try to pick up the right leg, or if you unwind the leg and do crow. But here, you might take your right hand to right hip, left hand to big toe, and then come up. And then, Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, my favorite to say. Perhaps I'll open it out to the side. Going down. Hurt. Got it? Nope. Okay. And then let the left leg come down. Give yourself a pause, a little wiggle. And then we're just going to do the other side. So ground into your left foot. And shake it off. If you kind of got sloppy at the end there, if you're falling all over the place, just give yourself a break. And then, again, either turning the right hand out, or you can try palm down. Just if the hand is out, you're on the inside of the ankle. If it's down, you're on the outside. And then you could start to press, pushing the right heel away. And then your call, you can start to fold down, pressing the foot to the sky. And here, I'm not going open to closed hip or closed to open hip, because the idea is your hips aren't open right now. You're trying to keep it so the heel is to the ceiling and not in half moon. Now, pull the right knee to your belly. Now you can stand up more if you want to see. You can keep the left ankle, right knee more bent, and then cross the ankle over the right knee. Again, arm balance if you're in that kind of mood. And again, I'll show you all that stuff another day. I'm just not there yet in my own practice. I can teach you, but it's hard without demoing when it's live. And then nice and easy, left hand to left hip. Maybe right hand to right big toe. Drawing up. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, which is just hand to big toe. Sounds more impressive in Sanskrit. And then open it out. And then bring it around. And lowering it down. Now, coming into Malasana would actually feel good here, so I prefer to sit on a block just because my knees are getting old, but you can sit on the ground. And then you might take a twist, binding, not binding, whatever you need. And then come to the center, take a twist the other direction. And then come back to the center. You might take a forward fold for a moment. Give yourself a little hip wiggle. And then you can chaturanga, up dog, down dog, jump through to sit, or you can just sit. So here, I'm going to come down towards our backs, and I'm going to turn sideways just so you can see. Letting yourself ease down. Now, you can come into bridge without a block, but if you'd like, taking the block under your sacrum, and just think of it, if you're not sure where your sacrum is, just think of where it feels the most supported. Because if it's too low, you'll feel like your back doesn't have enough lift. If it's too high, you'll feel like your butt is dipping. So if you can kind of find the sweet spot where you feel like you could just let go and pick up your feet, that's where you're usually going to be in a good place. And then you might tuck your shoulders under. You can clasp your hands or hold on to your ankles if you'd like. Here I'm just pausing for a moment. So I'm not going to teach a lot more asana. I'm just going to kind of give you a moment or two here just to kind of move if you want to move. But feel free if you want to continue your practice that you're relatively open for wheel, forearm stand, scorpion, all that fun stuff, camel. I'm trying to be careful in my own body, to be perfectly honest, because I've had a lot of aches and pains from moving around my mom and stress and just stuff. And so easing back into my practice, I don't want to do anything that I might regret later. So please feel free if you want to continue on to do so. If you're ready to wrap things up with me, you can lift your hips. Take out the block, lower them down. Just give yourself a little sway side to side, and you might hold the twist. I tend to like to go one side then the other and then revisit the first side again, but again, it's just all personal choice. And then feel free, if you're ready to let yourself pause, give yourself a little bit more of a shavasana, legs up the wall. I know a lot of the classes that I was taking this summer at the beach, I would just end practice sitting in meditation, kind of getting a chance to look out at the water. So maybe if you'd like to join me in a seat, letting yourself kind of envision you're sitting at the beach or wherever is your happy, peaceful place, and take a moment to pause. And I'll just tell you my personal mantra right now. It does not have to be yours, but maybe you can change the words so it fits you. And it's been, I will find the strength and the light to take better care of myself, my mom, and Dave. But then what I do is reverse the order of the names. So then it's, I will find more light and strength to take care of Dave, Mom, and myself. I will find more light and strength to take care of Dave, myself, Mom, and then I just kind of keep alternating the names because I know all three of us are very important. I also hope to find the more light and strength to kind of offer this more to you. I'll still continue to post some classes online, and I am actually going to be teaching my first in-person class since February on Friday. So I plan to record it, so I'll post it on YouTube, so don't worry if you can't get here in person. It's at NBX. So thank you all so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed the practice. I hope you feel good. Ooh, hips. Be nice to yourself, okay?